Okay, welcome to InfiniteFlight taxi and takeoff tutorial. As a first thing, we should go to menu, weight and balance, and go to fuel tanks. If we are going for 1 hour flight, we should have a 1 hour reserve. That means two hours of fuel. Passengers, we can go with all of them, and the cargo somewhere in the middle. Okay, we are flying with the Airbus A321, and the next thing that we should do is to go to the map and make our flight plan. So we are going from the runway 13, and now we will take the points. Let's say that we will go to this airport. This is good because you can navigate by that to see where are you heading, and also you can turn on the navigation that will basically navigate you just automatically. Okay, now we can turn on the beacon light. Next, we can turn on strobe light, which is on the wings, and also the navigation lights, which is also on the wings. Okay. Now we can push back. I will basically try to show you exact procedure that pilots make during the taxi and takeoff. Okay, now we can turn on the engine 2. We always start with the engine 2. And when the engine will be on 20%, we can go to engine 1. Okay, now we have both engines, and we will do regular procedure with if everything is working. So that's what you will usually see if you are in the airplane, that the pilots look at the wings, see if the spars are working. Now we can turn on the flaps on 2, which is what we need during the takeoff. Now let's see the wings working. And tail. Alright. Everything is set up. Now we can take brakes off, and we can taxi on our runway, which is the runway 13, as we see, which can see that is on the right side here. Okay, brakes off, and now the power on about 30%. We should go to 10 knots during taxi if we are turning the airplane. And if we are not turning the airplane and we are just going straight, we can go to 20 or even 30 knots during taxi. So now we can go to 20 knots. I just hope that we won't see Harrison Ford going to land on the taxi. Okay, now we go again on 10 knots. And usually now we would contact the tower to see if we are clear of for takeoff, if there's not any plane. If you would have an InfiniteFlight online, that could happen. But now we are playing solo, so there's no one. Now when we are waiting, we can go with attitude. Well, I'd say 10,000 for takeoff. Now also the landing lights here. Okay, and now when we are free for takeoff, we can raise the speed to be around 10 knots and use the RUD to get in the center of the runway. Alright, and now we can use the brakes. Now we are in the center. It's good to use this zoom to be sure that you are in the center, because then you should use your phone for rotating on the runway to be still in the center. Okay, wow, now we are prepared. So engines on, brakes out, and now we can raise the speed until 10 knots, and then we will go into full speed. It should be around like 93-95%. We need to rotate our phone so we are still in the center of the runway, and when we will reach 160 knots we will rotate so we can take off. And now here we go. Gear up. Okay, now we can press heading on autopilot, also altitude and vertical speed. And now we can get with the power lower, so we want to reach 200 knots until we reach 10,000 feet. Also you could hear the ring, which is the sound that you will usually hear at this moment. And we should correlate vertical speed, so the speed won't be too low. And you should really not reach more than 200 knots until you will reach 10,000 feet. That's how it should be. It's usually because of the noise of the airplane, which will be if you will get higher speed at this altitude. Okay, now flaps 1. Should still look at the also map to see if the flight plan is correct, and when everything will be fine, we can turn navigation on autopilot. Now the altitude should rise. If it's shorter flight, let's say from Germany to UK, the altitude should be around 200,000 feet. If it's longer distance, like London to New York, it should be around 35 or most likely 40,000 feet. Right now we can press the navigation, so the airplane is basically fully in autopilot. You can just enjoy the flight. And the only thing that's remaining is speed. So now the navigation will do the rest, so the airplane will rotate automatically. VS is vertical speed. It's actually the amount of altitude your plane is gaining in a certain period of time. Altitude, ALT, is actually the final altitude your airplane is going, and HDG is the heading, the direction in degrees your plane is traveling in. Okay, now we can turn on the seatbelt. Now we can press also the speed, and the airplane is basically fully in autopilot mode. So we can just control if everything is working and chill out. The speed should be around 300 knots. In higher altitude it will be 0.8 Mach. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and that's all for today.